Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new episode of Railway Empire 2. I am looking at Lille and I have hidden the mini-map for a reason, which is something we will get to in a bit. First of all, we're approaching 1890, which means a new era, and in this new era, we're going to discover a lot. But the funny thing is, I'm not able to record that anymore because it already passed. But I got a message at some point about unspent research points and about things I really need to do research about. So let's start with that. We have 1240 points, which means I can unlock a few things. First of all, let's unlock the posh boutiques, because that means the 15%, no, not 15. I don't have a market hall here. Amsterdam. I do have a market hall here. The 10%, that's it. 10% bonus of market hall also applies to luxury trains, which means they will make a lot. So that's number one. Then, of course, I have a new locomotive suited for mixed rail, which means it can replace the TAF Veil tank. And I did some research the other week, somewhere past the other episode. I always thought that TAF Veil was actually, well, it was the name of the developer, that's what I thought. But what I didn't know is that this tank was actually specifically designed by a company which was called the Taff Vale Railroad or Rail Company, something like that, which is located in an area called Taff Vale in Wales. Now, a tank design means that it doesn't have a coal center, so the coal is, as you can see here on the image, and on this image, right directly behind the cabin of the engineer and stoker. So the train in itself is a lot shorter, which is probably the reason it's called a tank design, because it's basically more like a short, bulky, and quite strong train. So the Taff Vale was a tank design locomotive set up for the Taff Vale railways in the Taff Vale in Wales. So that explains the name. Something I didn't know, but I was curious about it, hence I googled it. Anyway, we're able to unlock the LNER-ES1. It's going at 107 kilometers speed compared to the 97, so it certainly will help up to what we want. Then, of course, we got electrical machines, reducing the price of new locomotives by an additional 5%. I'm going to replace all my TAFs for this one, so certainly useful. 440 points left. Waterproof fire rate. Maintenance requirements of your locomotives are reduced by an additional 5%. That's great. Leaves me with 100 points, and here it comes. If I pick electric motor, processing of all wagons increased by an additional 5%. In other words, loading, unloading is going faster. Exports means that I get more money for each locomotive that I replace, so basically sell it. Industrial Congress 2, in-cost service training by my personnel by a further 5%. So that means less expenses on my personnel and more money as income. Then we have the saboteur and the housing, but I'm not using immigration officers as far as I know. So it's basically a choice between my personnel, which is long term, my funding if I sell locomotives, which is a once in a few times, or processing. And when I think about all the trains that actually sometimes congest lines because of loading, etc., I think this is actually the most useful for now. That means I still need 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 900 points on top of everything. Curiosity 16, everything. On top of everything we already are unlocking. So hopefully stuff will actually become available in auctions. I have no idea. We are able to get a new factory, one mixed locomotive, one cargo locomotive, one speed improvements mainly for express, another cargo locomotive, and that's going to be a very big one, and one more speed improvement mainly for express. So we don't get an express locomotive this time, which means PLM Group Van will remain my main express locomotive for quite some time. I also need to make to 29, from 18 to 20 to 27. So I also have to make up my mind about which locomotive to use in the next year. But that's one thing. For now, I'm going to replace that one and those. 826. That has a reason. That's going to cost me 51 million. In other words, 10 weeks of income. This is going to take a while. Because, yeah. There's a lot of locomotives that need to be replaced. Now I get this done. Everything before this area is actually gone now. So that's done. That also means next time one of the things I'm going to do is cutting down on this. So that's one thing I did. Then, this time I am able to show it, I added a new network, Eurostar. And look at that, it's in Dover. It actually went to a spot where I didn't want to go to, but never mind. So it's in Dover. That means I did cross the channel, and this time I am able to show the map. See all those nice white dots there. That doesn't work if I keep it selected. We do have a complete network in, or should I say on, the British Isle. England, Wales, Scotland and the full Irish Islands. Yeah, I'm going to avoid naming basically this part, because if I use one name I may, brackets, sorry, quotes, insult either the English or the Irish people, because there are two names for that same region. The province name is Ulster and everything else is called Ireland, but for the English it's Northern Ireland. So I'm not going to do that, but the entire island of Ireland is also being part. So I am going to Thibodeau stop. Do I have another one heading that direction? A chance. Heading north. Let's follow him for a bit. Was Dover, Brussels, Thibodeau, Dover, or this one. Because we are going to get some nice views at some point. So I set up the entire routing on the British Isle, and it was actually quite fun to do so. It took me, there we go. Oh, we got new cars. Okay. Well, I didn't know that part. Totally balanced. I still made 7 million profit. So, total income. The last time we played was even before the first quarter, 8 million. I think I just crossed the 100 million. Well, it's 123 now. 37 on rate. That's all because of what I added. At the other side of the North Sea, passenger increase, luxury passengers increase, mail increase. Production actually dropped. I did buy several industries there. No bonus, no miscellaneous. We had one bonus for connecting or placing a new industry in one of the English cities at some point. My costs are quite consistent, still slowly increasing, but that's because of all the expenses. So that's basically remaining similar. Overhead lines is remaining similar since my previous quarter, but went up because of everything I built. Fuel went up, making sense as I cut new trains, added to the networks, or better said, whole new routes added to the networks. I still don't know what the miscellaneous costs are. I thought it was buying or increasing industry size. I think this part, the 6 million, is for the buying of industries. I have been forced to buy multiple industries in British cities because they were at the wrong side of the city or blocking up expansion for 2 stations and all that. Still, 123 in, 51 out, 72 million profit. And this is my worst year, the worst quarter, simply because of, well, that to start with. And this to start with. So those are all new locomotives I bought. This is when I did most of my track construction, overlines, locomotive buildings, which are stations, tracks, fuel depots, post offices, all that. So what we did transport, well, a little bit more freight. About 9,000 more passengers, about 7,000 more luxury passengers, a little bit more of 8,000 mil, 300 goods, distance traveled has increased and delays have been increased. And that's one of the problems I still need to solve, but aren't yet. So we have new cars. Why? Oh, it's simply gone. Some of the cars are gone. Probably get new ones the moment they drop in the city. Because some trains seem to lack. Even though they're probably on it. Still, it's a weird visual bug, so. Ah, look at that, look at that. The new dining car and the new caboose. Here. It looks like a new passenger car too. Well, it certainly looks nice. And the new cars. For passengers. Look at that! So, now I'm curious if we get new cars for the luxury and the transport. It looks like luxury cars are indeed a little bit larger as well. They look quite nice. So we're going to follow this one today. Maybe occasional other stuff to make sure that things keep going. At least the game keeps going. This is one of the problems I haven't been able to solve. The trains waiting here, all because of Eindhoven. Eindhoven is such a major choke point that there isn't much I can do about unless I completely rebuild everything, which in a way will absolutely mess up lots of trade routes. Somehow I'll have to deal with it at some point. Especially now we get the longer trains. The luxury trains didn't change. That's nice to know. Passenger trains did. Passenger cars did. And things are more on the move again. Right, that was the problem. This one was waiting. It certainly looks nice. Things should start moving again. Still waiting for him. There it goes. Finally. This is actually true. I read about this a couple of days ago. technologies. Milk cars have increased in size as well, but cargo cars seem to be increased in size as well, so plus we have our first valuable research. It's this saboteur. Not going to bother with that. Um, let's start with the cost reduction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 800 before I could actually start the. So I really need auction. We also need to keep an eye on what's happening in, because at some point I will have to expand my industries, everything up from the Midlands to Scotland and Ireland. So that's something to look at as well. Looks like we're in Brussels right now. Yep. Next stop, Lille, or as the Dutch and Flemish called it, Dijssel. So what I did with this route is using London as my hub. And although Dover is actually first city on the British Isles that I got my um, train to stop, I'm not going to use it as a hub. London was a little bit more convenient for it being a city where I have multiple trains starting anyway. It's awful. So now on, we get a new start. This is also a spot I had to change because of the new tracks. I think I used a 4-track gridiron here. I had to redo the cargo part because of the train adjusting. And another thing I've been doing, and it already starts here, is actually switching from the right side of the track where in general mainland European trains are arriving to left side of the tracks. So starting from this station on, well actually from Lille on, every train heading to Britain is using left side tracks. It's those small details I like to do. We've got Chester, and this is going to dump, well, right along. I did it once, it's such a beautiful view. There are the white cliffs of Dover. So I wasn't able to do a channel tunnel, but I think a channel bridge works too. And technically, from now on, say welcome in England, people. Don't see much of a difference. Do have some problems now, I've noticed. Oh, I'll look at those a bit. But landscape-wise, there isn't much of a difference between mainland Europe and British part. It's a little bit more hilly actually. That's about it. The Thames and London. Now I have to deal with a shitload of problems. Starting here, Liverpool, Manchester. Okay, what's wrong? Which one is blocking what? Liverpool Supply is blocking 1-1, 1-3. this is mechanical. Let's see. Edit. Yep, this is track 8. Confirm. And there we go. Can it be this easy? Yes, it can. We need to change a few things, probably. Now it's gone anyway. Lift compute. Let me see. Put it on 6. Put it on 7. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the one I need. 5. 6. No, wait. 1. Only head back to Liverpool. To Raleigh to Liverpool. We have 4 here. Drop off at 6. Dublin, Liverpool, 5. Done. Confirm. What is he talking about? Ah, I think I know why. No, that shouldn't be possible. Cockburn, Liverpool. Ah, yeah, because it has to go to Holyhead after that. That's the reason. Confirm. Yes. Solved. That means all of this should start running in a bit. After all the recalculations are done, actually. Which may take some time, as usual. I'm not too worried about it. Not anymore anyway. And there it is, done. One problem solved. Off to the next one. This is a bigger problem. Waiting, waiting. So, this one is waiting for the train that's actually behind it. It's off to Naples. Okay. Let's see. There. Rossi stop. Montanari. Waypoint 3. Naples. Montanari. Waypoint 4. Where's waypoint 1? Parisi. Then Naples, Naples. Rossi. Naples. That's it. You only have to remove one train from the direction it's going to, so take it from a different track and problem is solved. The moment everything starts moving here, that means everything up here starts moving as well. Or should start moving. Yep, there it goes. Okay, solved. Next, Nantes and Tours. Once again, same problem. Me. That one's moving. That means everything here will be free, which means it should be able to start moving now. Ah, that was the problem. This one was waiting on the other one, and because of that, it's blocking everything. So you remove one train, problem solved. This case. What the heck? Alliance line. Yeah, larger trains, larger cars. These problem with switches every once in a while. This one is waiting for itself. Let's add another one again. Looks like I'm not there yet. Certainly looks like I'm not there yet. Whoa! 60 million? Why did I lose? Ah, production. Yep. Making sense. This. All those trains that actually stop here. I think I know the problem. All the passing through and trains using track 3 and 4 all the trains wanting to use the shortest, which are 3 and 4, get this. Let's check, something's wrong here. because at some point it's going to turn around over here. I think it's because of the electric tracks, but I don't see anything. This too is going to take some time. Just curious how long it's going to take extra. So my goal of today was actually show people around what I did in Britain, not solving the problems in Italy. Right, now let's start this again. With electricity. Let's see what happens now. Track 1. Yeah, there's something wrong with track 1 and 2. Though it doesn't show it this time. So maybe there was something wrong with the part I just changed. I have no idea. That, but this popping up is a good sign. Looks like it's working now. So, finally, London. Well, Bristol 2, Oxford 3, London 2, Cambridge. Here we go. Burning. Hey! Swansea. Everything got new industries right now. Manchester got steel. And I don't want steel industry in Manchester. Because it's a pain in the butt to get the coal and the iron to Manchester. I was afraid this would happen. The AI is dropping industries everywhere. Glasgow is going to get steel. What's my passenger tracks? Bottom. Steel. Edinburgh is getting chemicals. Birmingham, Swansea. So, steel in Birmingham. The thing is, I need to get wood somewhere. I can put tool industry in Swansea. But the big question is, where do I drop my other tool industry? Was originally my plan oh no, I can it has to make a turn in London. I can still produce tools in Bristol using the wood from Price and the steel from Birmingham. Problem is London. This is cargo. This is cargo. And this needs to connect to that. Now split off here. Cargo station is on top. Cargo station is at the bottom. Crap. If it was the other way around, it would have been easier. Yeah, that's for a very simple reason. Could have connected both stations using a 4-track gridiron, and I could simply move from Birmingham to Oxford to Bristol, then to another station where I would drop off the tools for further distribution. One thing I can do is, this is Swansea cargo, connected to Bristol. Question is how? 4-track here. I remove this. That's looking like a plan. Huh, I can actually build this. This one needs to go there. Overhead line built. Built. Track direction. Ha! Just realized I have made a mistake here. because we're driving on the left side of the tracks and not on the right side. This will probably change the moment. We on pause. Gridiron. 2. Extra track. That's the industries in a way. Well, here we go. We got steel and we've got tools, and the only thing I need to do now is to make sure that I got a spot where those tools are being picked up. We also need to add pottery, cement, Cambridge, new production, distillery. I think I'm going to use Price Terminal as warehouse. We have liquor, milk, salt, tools, maybe canned food, toys, cement. Right, here we go. Tools. New rail line. Freight. Locomotive. From O'Sullivan to Birmingham Cargo. To O'Sullivan to Birmingham Cargo. To Bristol to Price. Bristol, Price. Back to Birmingham. And that's it. First stop. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, which is the most useful? The outers. So 8. Going up coal. Loading up iron. 7. Loading up steel. many options in Bristol. Actually, lots of options in Bristol. Where we absolutely start loading up on wood. That doesn't help. Oh, that does help. To Bristol. We will load up on tools. Price, where we load up everything but tools. To Birmingham, where we load everything. Four trains. This is Southern. Be calculating again. Whoa. Lots of problems there. Again. Already gone to. These cars haven't changed in size. So, better prepare first. Lynch pit. Really? Really? I don't think this is actually... No, never mind. $57. Buck, because it's over 500 at the moment. Let's see how this looks. Nice, actually. This is why I like riding along. The problem with riding along, however, is that you may miss out on auctions. And given that I'm behind technologies right now, I don't want to miss out on options. I also still need to add the refrigerated transports to all my cities, but that's something I'm going to do in offline mode. Pass? No. Yeah, that too, but that's more about what a certain museum is doing. This is where all the waiting days come from. There we go. What I think is a miss in this game is the fact that you get the warning basically at about the longer cars at the last day of an era or the first day of a new era. You should get it more ahead, which makes it a lot easier if a player is working on something to participate on your rail constructions, that everything will be larger at some point. Like 1885, maybe 1880 even. Listen up, the next era after the next era, in 1890 we will get longer cars, so start adjusting your tracks according to that. It would make the game a little bit easier because I've been building lots and lots of switches and all that in Britain, and some of them are currently too short, even if I did have the maximum speed. That's a bit of a shame. got 19 points. Okay. Keep having problems with Naples and Mount. We want to do it different. That way it will load up whatever is needed. And I think it's a 2-on-2. So 1-on-2. So 1 coal and 2 iron. Might as well resize it now in advance. We don't have any. No, making sense. We didn't have any available because it was already loaded up. There's a problem in Ireland. The bigger output I want to build there. Oh, wait. Can take doing liquor and toys there, liquor here, which isn't smart. I do have Jones here, so Cambridge can become a canning factory. And I can dump that off in Vice. Oxford remains liquor. Toys. And somewhere for pottery. Pottery done. I probably won't pick up any tools even after I delivered some wood. We'll see. Maybe I'm lucky. Rice truck. I have to pick up wood. Right, well, we have tools. Of the level 2. Tools or Oxfords. Okay, now let's have a look here, because something is blocking something over here. What's blocking? Waiting for the mail, waiting for... Off to sleep go. Everything wants to go to the same track. Why is that? Was the direction of the tracks wasn't going the way it should? That way, sleep go. But go. So everything was forced to go over two tracks, have one or two trains doing repairs, and you're screwed. This train should go that way right now, and by doing so release tracks and everything should move on. So the clockwise ones using track 1 and 3, counterclockwise using track 2 and 4, problem solved. It's Patrick, track 2, confirm, done. Passenger. You have to do maintenance here. No. Then what are you waiting for? Ah, here. Luxury, counter clock, counter clock. You have to do maintenance here. He does. Train gone. means you don't do maintenance here. It's not really doing this. Now don't tell me set track 2 moves to track 1. And thus everything is blocked again. That was the wrong button. This thing. Add a new one. Not coming. Passenger clockwise 3, passenger clockwise 4. Reaching distance to whom? Son of a bitch! Would you stop doing this? Counterclockwise. 3 and 4. Not 2, not 1. 3 and 4. Because obviously what I had in mind isn't working. No overhead lines. Several trains being removed now. But the easiest solution, clockwise and counterclockwise passenger on either the odd or the even track number. I got 3 routes, passenger, mail and luxury, so problem solved. As soon as everything runs again. Which it will do now. Everything on the other side. Look, there's water. Now, go away. Delete. Counterclockwise, which is coming down. Luxury train. Go away. Platform 1. No, 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 not 1. 2. Because it's coming in from the top, not the bottom. Platform 2. See, 3 and 4 aren't used. That's causing the problems. Come on, good boy. Clockwise. Railway on 1. Confirm. Mail. Railway on. This is counter 6. Confirm. Hey, why aren't you? Yep, and I'm going to figure out why. Ah, I see why. Solved. This was mail. Mail clockwise. Edit. Galway 5. Confirm. Done. Passenger. Bellway, this counter clock 4. And passenger. Now it's hopefully working. Otherwise I have to remove a few trains. And add them again. But I hope it isn't needed. There goes the timer. And several of the waiting notifications are gone now. Which means he's still waiting. And he's still waiting. Fuck's sake. Second time I'm using the wrong. Solved. I'm afraid that I may have to do this at all stations now. Ah, there we go. That's blocking everything. was hoping, like I said, to show a little bit more around in the British area, but unfortunately we didn't get to that point. Thanks, I can live with that. So we're going to do one more research. This looks very useful. So I need to play on for 2 more months. Let's do that. Still, for now, thanks for watching, everybody. I do hope you've been enjoying this. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to show you what I wanted to show. But yeah, I'm going to solve that in the future. No worries about that. For now, thanks for watching. Have a good week, and I'll be seeing you next week. Goodbye.